welcome to the next episode of the Backstory on Marketing and AI. And if you haven't already done so, please sign up for these episodes on ProRelevant.com. And if you'd like to learn more about my upcoming book, The AI Marketing Machine, please go to marketingmachine.prorelevant.com. Today, I'm interviewing JP Carter of System Pavers, and let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a leader in digital marketing, and he honed his management skills as a mountaineering instructor in the U.S. Marine Corps. During his military career, he rose to the ranks quickly while learning a variety of technical skills. And from there, JP moved into the world of advertising. Now, with more than a decade of success under his belt, JP's use of data-driven methods to develop campaigns that encourage robust growth and elevate brand presence. Great background, and so good to have you, JP, and really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much. Excited to be here. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, let's get started. What is your backstory on AI and marketing? How did you get into this fun topic?
Yeah, absolutely. So I cut my teeth many years ago in email marketing, and I was excited to be able to do that. And what that taught me was a lot about just following the data and trusting the data. And as I've evolved and I've grown in my career, I would say that the most interesting thing is when working with teams and talking through how to make decisions. Opinions always come into play and preferences come into play, but boiling back to what actually drives business and growth and efficiency, getting back to the data and using the fun new bells and whistles and all the toys that come with the AI technologies that are available to us. There's no better time today to be a growth marketer than we see today for being able to grow and scale and be smarter and honestly have a lot of fun doing so.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it really is a lot of fun. I mean, yesterday I was doing an interview as well, and I couldn't believe some of the things that he was doing. And every one of these, I learned so much. So before we go further, tell us a little bit about System Pavers.
Yeah, so System Pavers is originally a Southern California based business. I've been around for over 30 years, and we have presence all the way up the West Coast and then as far east as Texas. And that will be changing. We're consistently growing. Obviously, we're adding categories, so we're growing categorically, but we're also growing geographically. So we're looking to add new branches consistently and hoping to do so in the very near future as we continue the march east. So we are the industry leader in outdoor renovation, and we help with, hence our name, pavers. So we do a lot with outdoor living space. So whether that be your paver patio in the backyard, your driveway, an outdoor kitchen, we also do lighting and turf and decking. So if you want an outdoor haven, if you will, a place to enjoy your yard, we can help you, and we enjoy doing so.
No, fantastic. Well, I'm going to be looking you guys up because we're renovating our backyard here in a couple months, and so we're going to
Nice,
need a lot of your stuff. Absolutely. Although
great.
we're in Atlanta, so I don't know if you'll have to send some guys special for us.
2026, I might know a
All
guy.
right. That's the right time. Fantastic.
There we
So,
go.
one thing, that's really critical is, especially for marketers, is that, the tools and the landscape has really changed, with all these agentic AIs and apps and stuff like that. So, what do you think marketers should be looking for?
So I think marketers should always be looking for how they can improve, right? Always looking at where are your gaps, whether it be on your campaign development, your storytelling, whether it be creative, whether it be your ad sets, whatever it might be. Where are your gaps? Where do you have opportunities to get better? And at the end of the day, there's most likely an AI technology that can help you. And I know that for us, we looked at where we were good. Obviously, that's always fun to look at where you're winning, but then looking at across the board, where can we be better? And leveraging that technology for system pavers, whether it be on our campaign development, targeting, segmentation, timing, but then also in our creative and looking at our creative development and our timing. So whether it be, hey, we want to do this type of campaign leveraging these three channels, putting together that creative, it's like, okay, how long is that going to take? How can we get faster? Well, there's technology that can help us there. And then the same thing can be said for if we're sitting with a consumer and if they say, this is the type of patio I want, these are the type of products I want to use, and using AI technology to visualize that and make sure that the entire process is as best as possible and trying to streamline and optimize, being smart. We can all get the pencil and paper back out and doing it traditionally, but let's be smarter and move faster, and that enables us to grow regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the challenges that marketers have when using it, especially generative AI, is being authentic. And authenticity is really what consumers are looking for. So, how do you train your marketing team, so to speak, to be really authentic and yet leverage the AI resources so that you can work more efficiently?
Yeah, that's a funny one. There was an example of that we're leaning on AI technology for a lot of our copywriting, and there are times where when the output there, you can tell that it was not written by copywriter X, whoever it might be, right? So just making sure that it still feels real. We're all humans. We all understand how things are digested, how things are taken in, and making sure that all of our touch points are authentic and actually represent the brand to the highest ability that we can, while still using the technology to continue to improve.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's really where the team needs to be trained, and training is a clearly an important part, but also the self-learning to be able to try things and experiment, and then unfortunately we are going to make mistakes, but hopefully be able to learn from those mistakes and really just leverage AI so that we can be much more efficient, but also authentic, and really meeting the needs of the consumer. So now you're in a relatively traditional industry, outdoor living and construction, and leaning on AI to drive growth is probably a big deal. So, what are the key specific things that you've done?
So when I came to System Pavers a handful of years ago, we were very traditional, and it was a lot of direct mail. It was a lot of what we call field marketing, a lot of home shows. And in our digital transformation, we've launched new websites, we've launched new different types of prospecting and acquisition. The biggest part for us that we have been able to do that is we when we did that transition, we didn't know what to expect. But then when we had a baseline, how do we then take that baseline? How do we grow? And we've One of my favorite things that we've done since launching some of these new technologies is we've got a partner that does AI search monitoring and making sure that we understand where we sit compared to our competitors, and getting AI outputs for how we can improve for general search, for organic presence, and then leveraging obviously AI engines to do so. And the beauty is the output, the feedback is raw. It tells you exactly what you should be, versus where somebody, an agency may want to sugarcoat it and say, well, you might want to try X, or you might want to lighten it up, or it's very direct, and it tells you exactly how engines perceive your brand and your placements and your campaigns. And that feedback has really helped us in the last 12 months in a very meaningful way for how we create content.
So, when you're talking about AI search, you mean how you are found by the LLMs, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. So, what
That's
are
right.
some of the tricks that you've learned there?
So we've always wanted to be one of the best friend brands, right? Where we want to be a kind brand. And some of the feedback there is we need to be a little bit prouder of who we are, and be direct about who we are and why we're better at what we do than some of our competitors, and be able to tell that story in our content, whether it be through comparison charts, or us versus them, or anything along those lines. We're not necessarily saying System Pavers or brand X and why we're better than brand X, but be proud of what we do better than our competitors. We are bigger, we are stronger, we have been around longer, and don't hide that. And the AI engine, that technology told us, be more direct. Don't beat around the bush about your selling propositions. Be more emphatic with how you want to tell your story, and it's helped us in a good way.
No, that is fascinating because one thing for me especially is I'm constantly searching for something, but I'm not searching to buy something. And I use Google, and their AI responses have been just phenomenal as to how how useful they are to get you the answer you're looking for instead of wading through a bunch of websites that are trying to sell you something with pop-ups and this and
Sure.
that. So yeah, that's fantastic. I think that's I wonder, and I don't know what your opinion is, but I wonder, how Google is actually going to survive where, you're not clicking through a paid search ad anymore. You're reading what you got and then maybe refining the search, but you're reading the AI generated result.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one, especially as it continues to evolve. I think that it's a generational thing. I think, like when we used to call it, and then it was Google it. Well, now a lot of people are saying chat it, chat GPT it, or use Perplexity or whatever. I think that there's obviously plenty of revenue generation opportunities for Google, and that they're going to continue to thrive because they're Google. But how they do so is going to be interesting because it's fun to see that teeter-totter of how many folks are starting to take on the new technologies and use those and abandon what used to be an absolute monopoly.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So, what other AI technologies have you found to be very useful?
Yeah, so the search one is probably the most meaningful full for us. What we do on a content generation is a good one, and that's helped us not only help our team evolve and grow in their careers for content generation, but volume for creative. So what we're able to do for blog creation, but then also video and stills, being able to do so and do so much faster allows the engines to pump out more, which in turn, selfishly as a performance marketer, gives the performance marketing team more opportunity to test and optimize and grow and scale. So the speed, which has been able to move faster, helps the performance team move their campaigns along, which helps our efficiencies, which helps us spend and test in more fun new technologies.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, for your for younger marketing folks that are just entering the industry and thinking about getting into marketing, what kind of advice would you give an upcoming new marketer?
Oh, that's fun. So we actually have a couple on the team that we've brought in. And at the end of the day, I'm a big advocate for failure and test as much as you can. And I encourage failure as long as you don't make the same mistake a million different times. So if it's about testing new technologies or new partners or new agencies, or test as much as you can, and especially when it comes to the AI space, because so much of it is new, or whether it be emerging, it's definitely not mature. So test it, have fun with it, learn from it, and then evolve, iterate. Iterative testing is one of the most important things, I think, for new marketers, and making sure that you continue to move the needle regularly. You're going to take that one step backwards, but then make sure you take two forwards next.
You know, this is totally off. But my dad, when his with his business, he used to, on all of his letters out to his prospective customers, he'd say, before it was something on the order of that. You take one step backwards, but you take two steps forward. And that is so true, and I think that's such good advice because I think marketers that are just getting into the industry or coming out of college and want to get into the industry, they are competing against AI, and
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a tough road to hoe for them for at least for till they can generate some real expertise where they can say, I can do this and I am excellent at it.
absolutely, absolutely. It's funny just the nature of how their world is different than when many of us came into the workforce years ago, and the concerns that they had. It's hilarious how much it's changed, and how much of it can be viewed as a competitive piece, but also a supportive piece, and how you can learn from it and grow from it and become better at it, and how that can help you evolve in your career.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, just curious, what one really cool app do you like and have found to be incredibly useful?
Oh, geez. I always end up back at the same ones. I think that we've done so many different visualizers that they're all good, not great. I just end up using Perplexity and ChatGPT all the time.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I'm a Chat GPT guy, and then I'm a Google. a Google AI overview guy.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah, fantastic. JP, thank you so much. Really appreciate it and some great insights, and I think that'd be very valuable for the listeners. So where can folks reach you, to if they have further questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, but then also I can always just be reached through System Pavers as well. So our site is systempavers.com, and I head up our marketing. We've got our fantastic CMO in Cassie Hallam, and then I help her as the VP there, but then always active on LinkedIn as well.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, JP. Really appreciate it. And for the audience, definitely stay tuned for many other videos in this series on the backstory of AI and marketing. And if you get a chance, please visit marketingmachine.prorelevant.com and download some information on my book. JP, thank you so much. This is awesome. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.